G'day everyone, welcome to Shane's Shed. Now, recently I got contacted by Auxito. Now, these guys make LED light bulbs. They are just a replacement for halogen bulbs. So, they sent me an offer and said, can we send you a set, you can do a review? So, yeah, sure, why not? Now, this particular set is not a set that they've sponsored by me for. So, this particular pair of bulbs I actually bought with my own money. Yeah, terrible by YouTuber I am, I know. Yeah, the main reason is I had a light blow on my Patrol here, and now this has just got the generic 7-inch round headlights. Real common bay on a lot of muscle cars, 80s cars, 70s cars, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, these are just a glass lens, probably the original ones by the look of them. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing 3 separate reviews on these bulbs. Now, the other 2 that they've sent me are HB3 and a HB4 bulb. I'm going to run those on my daily Outlander and also in my Suburban, which has got LMC truck headlights. So yeah, I'll get a bit of a 3-way comparison going between them in different applications, see what they look like. So yeah, like I said, this particular one is going to be the 7-inch rounds. So just before I get started into it as well, I normally say this at the end of a video, but I'm going to say it now. So if you like this video, enjoy this review, please give it a thumbs up before you leave. Much appreciated. It just helps further down the line for me to do future reviews. So yeah, pretty much all my reviews, I'm pretty honest with my opinion. Like if it's crap, I'll say it's crap. Yeah, so yeah, anyway, let's get into these. I'm not going to bother with an unboxing because that's major bullshit. And do we really need to say that the LED is a lot brighter or a lot whiter at least than the halogen? I don't think so. That sort of has been established well and truly by now. So these H4s, they've got a little inbuilt fan in the end here. So I'm not too sure which way that airflow goes, but it's going to be sort of stuck within the light housing, so to speak. So it's just going to be circulating air around. It is a bit of cooling. One thing I have noticed though, like Auxito claims that these are a 1-to-1 ratio with the original filament bulb, and yeah, they're pretty close to that. The only trouble that I pick up, and this is the same as pretty much every other LED replacement bulb that I've seen, is that a halogen doesn't have any obstructions around its light source. Well, apart from the low beams on these H4s, but that's kind of normal. So the low beam side on these replicates that reasonably well by blocking the light out for the bottom half. But for the high beam, where that inner side lights up, not only the top you've got, it's kind of thin there, but that bottom half is actually quite thick, and that does create a bit of a dark spot on the bottom of your beam. Like I said, it is kind of common with a lot of LED replacement bulbs, so you kind of want to aim for something that's as thin as possible in that light source to avoid those dark spots. So yeah, these probably, they could be a bit thinner on that bottom half of the high beam, I think. Now, just a note on fitting these as well. Now, it may not seem like much, but this base flange is probably, I haven't measured it, so, but it looks to be about double the thickness of the of just the standard halogen bulb. So, I don't know, you won't be able to see that, but it is definitely thicker there, and that is creating a bit of an issue with getting the clips in on the headlights. This may not apply to every situation, but in this particular one, just that little bit of extra thickness there is just creating, yeah, just a little bit of a pain because there's not really any clearance for the clip to get in and get around that flange. So anyway, it just involves a little bit of creative bending, and you could also take a little bit out of the back of these if you wish. I suppose that could be an option. So I'm just going to use my dash cam for this, the driving side here. Hopefully the footage comes up okay. I mean, it's not the best dash cam in the night, but yeah, it is what it is. The low beams are reasonably respectable. To be honest, not a huge amount different to the halogens, but there's not too much light scatter. There's not really any dark spots per se. So yeah, no, I'm quite happy with the low beams, to be honest. Let's just flick over to the high beams and see what they look. Now, the first thing I noticed is my first initial thought was the beam is adjusted too high, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's just the way these beams project out. To be honest, it's quite dark towards the vehicle. There's not a lot of light fill in close. It's all sort of mainly out further. As you can see with the low beams, it's quite filled in close, and the high beam, it's not bad, to be honest. I can't really notice too much scattering or any dark spots in the beam pattern. So yeah, overall I'm reasonably impressed. I'm just thinking though whether there was any thought of maybe both the high and low beam bulb should be illuminated at the same time, because this low beam fills in towards the car quite nicely, and with the high beam sort of dropping that, I reckon this bit would fill in all that gap, and if you had them both running, it might be probably a lot better as a high beam overall. But I don't know whether those bulbs will deal with the how they go with the extra heat of having basically all the LEDs running at once. Yeah, it's actually got me wondering with that dark spot that's in front of the high beams there. I'm just going to stop so I can do a bit of a photo. So with the low beams and then the high beams, I might try and mash that two images and see what we come up with, because I've got a funny feeling that low beam highlights quite closely to the vehicle. The high beam shoots quite a bit away. I'm just wondering whether there was something maybe designed that maybe those two beams were supposed to be lit up together to get the best bay output. I'd certainly think if you did that, it would be a lot better. Yeah, so look, I initially was going to write these off because of the high beam, the way it's going, but the more I think about it, the more I think it was probably a little bit of a trait with the halogen bulbs, but because they are more of a yellow light output, it wasn't as noticeable, whereas these the light is so bright and white that any dark spots are really highlighted quite a bit more with your own eyes. So that's what I think's going on with the high beam, why it seems dark, noticeably dark when you first flick over to it. After a few seconds, once your eyes adjust to it, it's actually not too bad, but it does take a little bit to adjust properly. That's just what I've noticed. It's kind of like to be honest, it feels a bit more like the opposite of with the old halogen bulbs. When you had high beams, they were okay, and then when you went back to low beams, you felt like you were driving with nothing. This is kind of, it's flipped. It's weird. I can't. Yeah, that's just the way it is. So, are they as good as a dedicated LED full replacement lens? No, probably not. But to be honest, I think to get decent quality LED lenses, you need to be spending a bit more than most of the cheap shit that's out on the market. They're probably not much better than this. I would like to go to like some projector styles, like being here in Perth, I'm kind of maybe a bit biased towards Bang & Headlights. They're a company that makes headlights here in Perth, so they basically look glass. Well, they do have a glass lens. They look old school, but they're a modern day projector LED. So yeah, they will obviously be far superior to this. But I think this is probably better than halogen, or at least it appears better. I need to do a back-to-bay comparison to bay, really find out. So yeah, if you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments below. But apart from that, if you made it this far, thanks very much for watching. Please like, subscribe if you want to see more product reviews I do. I try to be kind of honest how I see it, and yeah, if something is crap, then I'll call it crap. It is what it is. Anyway, see you later.